The ultimate power couple, the divorce that dominated headlines. We all saw it coming, we saw the fallout, and then, for 3 years, it was, this carefully watched quiet.
Mm.
And then that quiet just shatters. A triple bombshell that flips the entire narrative on its head.
Right.
It's the sound of a new family forming, but it's punctuated by this really powerful, very public silence from her ex.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today our mission is laser focused on that one headline that's just everywhere. Gisele married, baby born, Brady silence. We're not just going to give you the facts. We're actually tracing the timeline of Gisele Bündchen's, astonishingly quick transition from divorce to a new, very intimate marriage, new baby.
And the Brady part.
And crucially analyzing that very curious, almost emotional non-reaction from Tom Brady.
We have really stacked up the sources for you today. We're looking at exclusive reports on the private Florida ceremony, the really fast timeline of this new relationship.
And Gisele's own words, which are key.
Yes, her own candid reflections on that 13-year marriage, and this is the big one, a deep analysis of Brady's, super strategic, cryptic social media activity right after. This whole deep dive is about narrative control. Who gets to write the next chapter, and how do they choose to tell it?
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's unpack this calculated move toward a new life.
What's immediately striking to me is the precision, the stealth that Gisele used here. If the divorce from Brady was this huge media spectacle, her new marriage was like a masterclass in secrecy.
It really was. The headline that just caught everyone off guard was so simple. Supermodel Gisele Bündchen secretly marries jiu-jitsu instructor Joaquim Valente.
And it wasn't a slow leak.
No, not a managed photo op. This was just a fact. It happened.
So let's lay out the facts, because the timing here is absolutely critical. The wedding took place on December 3, 2025.
Just 3 years after the Brady divorce in 2022.
Exactly. And it was described everywhere as a low-key home ceremony in Surfside, Florida. We even have the paper trail. A marriage license was confirmed just 2 days before, on December 1st.
Wow. A quiet home ceremony instead of, the huge televised event you'd expect.
Yeah.
That tells you everything about how much she wanted to control this.
It does. And let's not forget the age difference, because the media is definitely talking about it. She's 45, he's 35. This whole thing was just designed to be small, intimate, and totally un-Hollywood.
Their commitment to privacy was almost militant.
It really was. After the ceremony, she makes her first public appearance at a jewelry event in São Paulo. This is December 18th.
Yeah.
And sources specifically pointed out that she wore long sleeves, a very deliberate move to conceal her left hand.
To hide the ring.
To hide any potential wedding ring. It just emphasizes their whole commitment to keeping this out of the spotlight.
That level of secrecy is it shows how strategic she is about this. But the biggest reveal, the most dramatic piece of this whole thing, is the family they had already formed.
That's the real bombshell.
They didn't just get married, they made a family official.
That's it. The reports say they already share a newborn son who was welcomed in late 2024 or early 2025. So the family unit was already there before the wedding.
So she's co-parenting her 2 kids with Brady Benjamin and Vivian, and now has a newborn.
Right. And our sources confirm Valente was reportedly thrilled over formalizing the union post-baby.
Let's talk about the origin story here, because this shift from, instructor and friend to husband and father, it happened so fast and under a spotlight she kept trying to turn off.
Well, it started pretty subtly. December 2021, Gisele and her kids enroll at the Valente Brothers Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Miami.
And she's still very much married to Tom Brady at this point.
Exactly. And that's the connection that fueled all that early speculation.
Of course.
The rumors just went into overdrive right after the divorce was finalized on October 28, 2022.
And then came the sightings.
Immediately. They were spotted in Costa Rica by November 2022. The relationship escalated fast, and dating was confirmed by June 2023, even though Gisele herself initially denied any romance. She was, adamant he was just an instructor.
Okay, so here's where I see, a little contradiction in the story she's trying to tell. She denied the romance at first, right? Just an instructor.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that kind of conflict with her later statements about wanting total transparency in her new life?
That's a really sharp point. But I think the transparency she meant wasn't necessarily for the public, It was about the relationship itself. She gave some amazing insight into this in a conversation with the New York Times.
What did she say?
She said, "This is the first time I am seeing someone that was a friend of mine first. It's very different, it is very honest, and it's very transparent."
Oh.
So the key thing here is that foundation. It started professionally, became a friendship, and that allowed the trust and honesty, the transparency she's talking about, to be built away from the pressures of celebrity dating.
So she wasn't seeking transparency with the media, she was seeking it with her partner. That makes so much more sense.
Exactly. It speaks volumes about what she felt was missing before.
And that search for authenticity brings us to her reflections on Brady. You'd think the newly married supermodel would be, like, totally focused on the future, but she just opened up about wishing her life with Brady had gone differently.
That's right. And this focus on privacy and control is so striking, especially when we look at other stars who do the exact opposite. After the break, let's explore how a major music star is dominating headlines by leaning into total, open domestic life.
If you're loving these Hollywood twists and these deep dives into the strategy behind the fame, make sure you're subscribed. We have even crazier stories ahead, and you do not want to miss our breakdown of Logic's dad bod strategy.
Welcome back. So while Gisele was strategically rolling out her new life, she also paused to look back, and she broke her silence in a huge interview, admitting the divorce was not what I dreamed of.
That is such a huge emotional admission. Even though she's moved on and seems happy, that reflection shows a vulnerability we, never see from her. It sounds like grief for the marriage itself,
Yeah.
separate from her current happiness.
And you have to put it in context. When she says she really wanted it to take a different turn, she's pointing right back to the conflict that reportedly led to the split.
His career, the unretiring.
The constant tension between her wanting him to focus on family and his decision to keep going back to the NFL. Her new marriage seems to be about getting that stability and presence she wanted all along.
Okay, so let's pivot. The other half of this former power couple. We've talked about Gisele's move. How did Tom Brady react to the news of the baby and the wedding? The headline says silence, but it was a little more complicated than that.
It's fascinating because he didn't issue a statement, which is a statement in itself.
Right.
Instead, he shared a cryptic post about love right after the news about the baby went public. The media analysis was just immediate and intense. We saw sources analyzing a sad Tom Brady post after ex-Gisele Bündchen's pregnancy drop.
The visual contrast is just incredible. Gisele is building this private, honest, and transparent life behind closed doors, while Brady is posting these vague, sad messages about love to millions of people. Is this genuine heartbreak? Or is it a calculated online persona designed to get sympathy and maybe keep the focus on him?
The media definitely rushed to paint him as the tragic figure. One source analyzing his post even drew this really wild parallel.
What was it?
They compared his emotional state to Stevie Nicks writing the song Landslide in 5 minutes in Aspen.
Wait, what? Stevie Nicks, why bring a rock star into an NFL story? What were they even trying to say with that?
They weren't just dropping a fun fact. They were trying to create a parallel between Brady's social media post and the artistic purity of heartbreak.
Oh.
The comparison suggests that his public sorrow isn't just venting. It's this genuine, almost elevated emotional state. Like a great songwriter drawing power from pain. It positions him as the romantic victim, not the guy who chose his career over his family.
That is a deep read on an Instagram post. But it brings up a huge question about celebrity power, doesn't it? Is the media doing him a favor by painting him as the heartbroken artist?
It's a classic choice.
Does he get more long-term public sympathy than Gisele does with her decision to just shut it all down?
Brady is basically performing vulnerability for everyone to see. Gisele is sacrificing that public gaze for private stability. The way they both chose to communicate here demonstrates two totally different strategies for handling fame and personal drama.
And if you connect this to the bigger picture, you see there's not just two ways to handle this stuff. There's a whole other model emerging.
Yeah. And that's where we're going next. We are leaving the world of quarterbacks and supermodels for the music industry, where one star is just leaning all the way into domestic bliss, openly documenting the dad bod life, and even launching a kid's clothing line. We're looking at rapper Logic's surprising transparency next.
We're shifting gears now to look at total intentional domesticity as a brand. The bold headline here, from Grammy nominations to gourmet vegan grilled cheese wrapper Logic, is balancing it all through absolute transparency.
This story is the perfect counterpoint to the Gisele and Brady dynamic. Rapper Logic and his wife, Brittany Noel, they married in 2019.
Right after his first marriage ended.
Yep, and now they have two kids, Bobby, born in 2020, and their second son, Leo, born on July 18, 2023.
And Logic didn't just quietly have kids. He made fatherhood part of his job in a huge way. His music video for the song Dad Bod was literally his retirement announcement.
Yeah, he just says, I'm retiring and we're moving to Montana. And the whole video for Dad Bod was basically a family documentary. It's home videos from his son's first year. His wife is in it. He even raps, and I love my wife like I am Chance, shouting out another rapper famous for being a family man.
It's the ultimate embrace of the dad life. His brand is just relatable domesticity.
And Brittany Noel is a huge part of this story. She's not just the supportive wife. She's an entrepreneur who's using this transparency.
So her athleisure line is on pause, but she's pivoted, right?
It's a total pivot into family business. In December 2022, they partnered with some people to launch a kids' clothing line called Sweet Cream.
Sweet Cream, okay.
It's all like soft pastels and cream shades. This isn't just a side hustle. It's a full move into the domestic economy, with both of them promoting this brand that's built around their kids.
It's also wild how openly she shares their private life.
Yeah.
So it's such a stark contrast to Gisele. She used to have a blog that covered everything from wedding details to really personal stuff like breastfeeding.
And that transparency goes right into their lifestyle. She's always posting about creative vegan recipes like replicating a Kourtney Kardashian avocado pudding or sharing her own quick and easy vegan grilled cheese.
Just tomatoes and greens, I saw that.
She even posts her full body workouts, and the music is her husband's songs.
And Logic comments on her workout videos saying how fine AF she is. That is the kind of open, public validation that Tom Brady's vague post was totally lacking. There's no mystery there.
It's fascinating, it really is, to see a celebrity family lean so hard into the domestic entrepreneurial side. Logic's choice is basically the third option. If Gisele picks controlled privacy and Brady picks emotional crypticism,
Logic picks total transparency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Turning the everyday details of being a dad and running a family business into his public identity.
So to recap this whole thing,
We saw Gisele Bündchen make this rapid, super private move into a new marriage and motherhood, signaling a really decisive break from her life with Tom Brady.
a new narrative built on transparency behind closed doors.
Then we explored her honest reflections on that marriage and the stark, strategic silence from Brady. And finally, we contrasted all that high-tension strategy with rapper Logic and Brittany Noel, who are just publicly embracing the dad bod life.
So what does this all mean for you watching all of this play out? This whole saga gives us three clear models for how celebrities control their narrative now. And the ultimate question is, when you're trying to control your own story, whether you're an international icon or just, navigating your own life, which strategy is the most effective? Is it Gisele's controlled secrecy? Brady's cryptic emotional appeal for sympathy? Or Logic's total open embrace of a transparent domestic life? Something to think about as you navigate your own narrative choices.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.